Welcome to Habit Bliss. I'm Joy Faye Joku, your resident habit hacker, and in today's video, we are going to talk about overthinking, how to stop overthinking. If this is something that you struggle with, then please watch this video. I really have some stuff that I want to talk to you about, and my hope is that you can take some of this information that we discuss and apply it to your life and see dramatic changes. And with that said, please, if you like content like this, content that offers practical advice for habit development so that you can live a blissed life, subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to like, make sure you comment, and let us know what type of videos you'd like to see in future videos. We definitely take a look at the comment section to determine our future content. With that said, let's get to the video. If you identify yourself as an overthinker, then this video is for you. And before we get to the actual meat and potatoes of this video, I want to say that I share your struggle, which is why I'm so excited to do this video, because I understand this is something that I've also struggled with in the past, and I know how debilitating it can be, and I know how unproductive it can be as well, especially in a time like this when we are dealing with so many things that take our attention and that can add to our stress. And so this video is really, it's something that I'm passionate about. And as I said earlier, I want to share with you some tips and some strategies that I hope can help you overcome it and definitely manage it so that it doesn't play a negative role in your life and in your ability to make progress. So with that said, let's kind of get to it, right? Why do people overthink? Also, by the way, let me just say in advance that I'm going to be using this because I have some notes in here, and I want to make sure that I get to all the content, that I give you everything that I want to say so that I can give you the best information possible. So with that said, let's talk about it. Why do people overthink? Mainly, overthinking is the result of two things: fear and anxiety. All right, fear about something, anxiety about something, and it shows up in overthinking, right? So how do people overthink? We're going to get back to why do people overthink in a second, but let's move on to how do people overthink. People overthink in a few different ways. They actually do so by living in the past, right? So oftentimes what's happening is rumination of thought. You know, when you're faced with a situation that is causing you to overthink, you're actually thinking about all the times a situation like this or something similar went bad in the past, and reliving those things. Or you're living in the future, right? And you're thinking about all the possible things that could go wrong in this scenario. So you're living in the future, you're doing that. And you're bringing this past and you're bringing this future to the present moment. So as you are maybe faced with a decision that you have to make, right, in the present, you're relying on past experience, you are genning up future possible negative scenarios, and you're bringing it to the present moment, and it's causing you to overthink, right? And the reason is, I want to say overthinking is actually something that the mind does to protect you. The reason that you're overthinking is because fear and anxiety, right? And you're trying to avoid certain things. You're trying to avoid, your mind is trying to avoid future heartbreak, future disappointment, right? And so because you fear this potential future heartbreak, this future disappointment, this future negative scenario playing out, in an attempt to avoid it, right, you overthink. You want to anticipate all possible negative scenarios so you can bypass it, or so on and so forth. That's the mind trying to help you out. Overthinking is actually a defense mechanism. It's a protection that the mind does to help you avoid negative scenarios. The problem is, A, it doesn't work, and B, it actually exacerbates the issue. It actually hurts you. So we have to get rid of it. We need to get rid of it. But give yourself grace. You don't need to be upset with yourself for being an overthinker when you understand where it actually comes from, right? It's you trying to protect yourself, okay? So now that that's out of the way, let's talk about what we can do to alleviate overthinking, to eliminate or reduce at the very least overthinking. So if you find yourself overthinking, there are a couple of things that I want to suggest. There are many solutions, but there are a couple that I want to suggest that you can use to help you move past it. The first one is to attack the source, right? So the source is what we talked about earlier, the why. Why do you overthink? You overthink because of fear and anxiety. If you can get to the bottom of the fear and the anxiety, then perhaps that can give you some information that you can use to eliminate or at least reduce that fear and anxiety. And that will naturally bleed over to your ability to eliminate or quiet the overthinking. The next thing that we want to talk about, that I want to share with you, is conditioning the mind. See, overthinking is a mental habit, right? It's not only something that you're doing because of fear and anxiety. It starts there, but the more you do it, the more it becomes a habit. It becomes a mental habit, so that's just how your mind works. The grooves in your mind, it just works that way. So we also have to attack it from that aspect and recondition the mind. And the suggestion that I have for you to recondition the mind is meditation. Now, a lot of people don't like meditation for many reasons. I'm gonna try to sell you on this idea a little bit. Now, here's the thing. I'm gonna do a separate video about meditation in a future video, but I do wanna share enough information with you today so that you can take that information and apply it and use it so that you can create a meditation practice of your own that will help you specifically with overthinking and a number of other things as well. So there are many different types of meditation, but the one that I want to focus on now is the type of meditation that's actually a stress reliever that helps you reduce stress, right? And helps to quiet the mind. I don't know how many of you are familiar with transcendental meditation. Now, if you're familiar with it, then you understand that this type of meditation is simply about quieting the mind, reducing stress, getting to a place of neutrality, right? If you're interested in that, you can definitely look up transcendental meditation and, get into it. Perhaps if you can find a way to study that, I recommend it. But to simplify the process, what you can do is simply, how about this? For 21 days, right? This is what I suggest you do. For 21 days, twice a day, 15 minutes each, right? If you can find a quiet spot in your house, wherever you are, where you can be unbothered, right? Take 15 minutes and do this. The first thing you need to do is come up with a mantra. And it's important that the mantra that you come up with is meaningless. It cannot have a meaning associated with it. So you can come up with any word that has no meaning to you. If you can't come up with a word, you can use a word like teat or something like that, right? And the reason that it's important that the word has no meaning is because you are trying to eliminate thought, like noise. You're trying to cancel noise. And if you use a mantra that has meaning to you, then you're actually going to, as you focus on the word, focus on the meaning. So you want a word that doesn't have any associated meaning to you, okay? So what you do for 15 minutes is you focus on that word. And what inevitably is gonna happen, especially if you're new to meditation, the moment you start focusing on that word, the moment you put all of your attention on that word, it's gonna get very loud in your mind. That's gonna be the moment you realize how loud your mind is. All of the thoughts are gonna get really, really loud. All of the, I need to call this person back. I forgot to turn off the stove. I need to pay this bill. I need to send that email. It's going to invade your mind and it's going to feel like you cannot focus. That is what is supposed to happen. Don't feel bad about that. I find many people get very discouraged because of that, right? They think that they can't meditate because as soon as they try to meditate, thoughts invade their mind. But that is what is supposed to happen, right? Because this is how the mind works all the time. This is part of the problem with the overthinking. This is what's happening to you, right? So it's in this meditative process that we're going to resolve this issue. So when you focus on this word, the first thing that's going to happen is thoughts are going to invade your mind. That's a good thing, right? You can expect it. Now, what happens next is you're focused on the word. So that's like in your mind for 15 minutes, you close your eyes in a quiet spot, right? And you're mentally saying, teat, 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 teat. And as you do that, right, your mind starts to wander. Your mind starts to wander, probably a lot. It's wandering. You're saying teat, but your mind is over here thinking about everything else but this word. And your natural tendency in that situation is to fight the thoughts, right? Is to fight those thoughts that are coming because you don't want to think about that. Don't do that. That is not what you want to do here. It's not a bad thing for those thoughts to be coming. It should be expected. What you want to do instead, okay, is as you're focusing on this word and as the thoughts are coming in, as you're being invaded by these thoughts, the moment you recognize that you have, that your mind has moved away from the word you're focusing on, just gently come back to the word. That's it. Just gently come back to the word. So as you think about this word and your mind wanders, as it will, just come back to the word. That's how it's supposed to happen. Now, when you do this, likely over the course of 15 minutes, what probably will happen is that over the course of the 15 minutes, your mind will start wandering a little bit less, okay? Over the course of 15 minutes. And if it doesn't happen in the first session, if you commit to this process twice a day for 21 days, over the course of 21 days, it definitely will. And the byproduct of this is as your mind stops wandering as often, that is a reconditioning of the mind that is taking place. The reason that your mind is slowly becoming more still and you have the ability to focus on that word without wandering is because your mind is changing. Your brain is changing, it actually is. And you will notice the effects in the real world, okay? And you will start to see that as things happen, you are less reactive to it. You will notice this. I promise you, if you do this for 21 days, you will notice this. And it will also help your ability to push past overthinking as well. You will not be so reactive. Your mind won't be so reactive. Just try it for 21 days. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, right? But this is what I want you to do, at least attempt to do it for 21 days, twice a day, 15 minutes. If you have any comments regarding that, please leave them in the comment section and I will respond to them and provide any more information that I left out accidentally or whatnot. So those are my two recommendations. The first one is to attack the source, right? And the second one is to try meditation in the way that I described it today and see if that doesn't help you. I'm sure that it will. These suggestions are meant to help you, especially in a moment like this when there really feels like there's a lot to fear and be anxious over. And that is something that we need to learn how to manage because generally speaking, we want to be able to manage our fears and the things that make us anxious. No matter what, we're still living our lives and wherever we stand, we have to thrive, right? And even in this moment where things look chaotic and there's a lot of uncertainty, this is where we are, this is where we're standing. So we have to learn how to thrive. And my hope is that these suggestions help you do just that. Hopefully you were able to find use in this video. And if you have, I would love to hear your comments about what your takeaway was from this video. And if you plan on doing the 21-day meditation, please let me know. I would love to hear your journey with that. And if you like content like this, again, make sure to subscribe to this channel, but also in the description in the description box below, there's a link to subscribe to our newsletter. And if you like this type of content, then please subscribe to that as well, because there we send out periodically content related to self-mastery, habit development, things like that, as well as updates when we have new services that we're rolling out, new products, so on and so forth. You'll be the first to know. And if you want to take all of this to the next level, if you want to really fast forward your habit development journey, if you have a goal that you're looking to reach, a habit that you're looking to reach, a habit that you're looking to develop, then there is a link in the description box as well for a private consultation with me, and we can discuss how Habit Bliss can help you. We have many different services, and if it's a good fit, I would love to work with you. And with that, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next video.